Why did Eve leave the WWE? Is The Rock's rendition of Horrible Tonight a top seller on iTunes? Did Ric Flair really just give The Miz the figure 4 leg lock? Really? Really? Get all your wrestling news this week on Tout Bouts Talk.
Was that Eve left to start a hardcore porn career, but then it was found out that I started that rumor. No, the truth is Eve is left to join full-time with Gracie's Academy Women Empowered brand, as she's been doing while working with the WWE. We wish her well, and I'll miss looking at her sweet, sweet ass. I will.
So tag team talk?
Tag team talk. Every year, everybody gets close to the Royal Rumble, and they want to know who's going to win, who's going to win this thing, who's going to win that championship shot at WrestleMania. We're going to do things a little bit different this week, 2 weeks before the Rumble. We're going to talk about the Royal Rumble losers. Who's definitely not going to win?
Definitely not winning. 3-man band, 3MB, not one of them going to win. Tyson Kidd's definitely not going to win.
Well, he's hurt, so how's he going to win? I'm tagged in. Now I'm tagged out.
Ultimate Warrior's not going to win. We know that for a fact.
Mitt Romney's not going to win to just further his, year or two of losing.
In all seriousness, Santino's definitely not going to win. Sheamus is not going to win. Alberto Del Rio's not going to win.
Now, why won't Sheamus win? He's popular.
Not going to happen.
Not going to happen 2 years in a row?
Yeah, actually, his character doesn't need it anymore like it did last year. He's still in the main event scene. Why would you do that? I'd rather see it go to Cesaro.
Cesaro also will not win, and neither will, just because he's a champion. But at the same point, Wade Barrett's not going to win either because he is the Intercontinental Champion. But I do see him winning a Royal Rumble probably in the next couple of years.
Miz is not going to win, even though he should be and probably is definitely getting pampered for the spotlight and the main event. He's not going to win the Rumble. Doesn't need it.
I see Miz as a good chance of being one of the final few guys. But I definitely agree with you. He's not going to win.
It'll be like the third year in a row he's one of the final few guys. You still think they're going to give it to him like that? So he's always a competitor?
He's just not ready to get a main event at WrestleMania. He's got too much time with the commentary on main event, Miz TV, and now that he's paying Ric Flair's drinking bill, I just don't see him winning the championship.
Ric Flair is not going to win. Definitely not going to win.
Agreed with that. Any other old-timer they bring back, there's rumors that New Age Outlaws are supposed to be in the Royal Rumble.
Oh, you didn't know?
Or anybody else like that. None of the returning guys are going to automatically get a shot at the main event at WrestleMania. And that's really how you pick a winner of the Royal Rumble.
Ryback's not going to win.
Ryback or Ryberg are not going to win.
Actually, Ryberg, good chance. We don't know yet. As horrible as it sounds, Ryberg's is odds on.
I mean, oh, jeez. I doubt it. I really doubt it. I would think that Ryberg has a same chance of winning as Tensai or Khali would of winning the Royal Rumble. I don't see it happening. I don't see him getting a WrestleMania main event for a championship right off the bat.
Who would be the biggest upset to be eliminated super fast? The biggest loser of the night if they were to be eliminated super fast?
Christian, who's been... in his entire career in the WWE, a long time staying in the Rumble for a long time, but he's also been eliminated fairly quickly. Given his age, knowing he's not going to get a WrestleMania main event, I would be sort of surprised that if he left early, but not that surprised.
You know who else won't be in the main event? Thor. Thor won't be in the main event. Neither will Cam Newton.
Neither will Ultimate Warrior or yeah.
Exit stage left.
But let me tell you something. If Cam Newton was in the Royal Rumble,
Would he be?
He would win. Hands down. Number 1, Cam Newton.
Womp, womp, womp.
I love Cam Newton.
Robert Griffin III would not win the Royal Rumble even on 2 good knees. Who else? Brodus Clay is definitely not going to win the Royal Rumble.
Cameron and Naomi have a better chance of winning the Royal Rumble than Brodus Clay.
Fucking dactyls! Mick Foley might win the Rumble. Womp, womp, womp. You won the Hall of Fame inductee, which should lead us to our next topic.
We're going to close this match. We're going to get our next topic. We also need to say, primetime players, not going to win the Royal Rumble. Ever. Match over.
Millions of pennies. Millions of pennies.
Free-for-all tag team talk right now.
Hall of Fame inductee. We just saw Mick Foley inducted. Rumor is that Kamala's the next inductee, which is absurd in many different reasons.
I know why they're inducting him. The guy just lost his legs to diabetes, so they're going to wheel his big fat ass out.
But truth be told, Kamala has for the past couple of years bashed WWE and all of their officials.
And New Jack and a lot of the old wrestlers have gone on and say Vince McMahon is a racist. They must have been listening to Professor S's commentary on this show. And the fact that he's not going to get a nod. Kamala has wrestled for 30, almost 40 years, as long as Flair, without any of the accolades or championships. But WWE always puts in an old-time wrestler like this, like a Johnny Rodz. These guys, you're not quite sure what the hell they're doing in the Hall of Fame, but they clearly have had an impact in the world of wrestling.
So, I don't even know why I'm tagging you, but who belongs?
Who wouldn't want to tag me? Eve.
Who belongs in the Hall of Fame?
Who belongs in the Hall of Fame? That's really simple.
Let's just knock Macho Man off the list. And
why? Because he's not going to be in the Hall of Fame, or he doesn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame?
Because I know he's not going to be. If there's anybody who's not in the Hall of Fame already who deserves it the most, it would be Macho Man.
I agree, 100%. The Macho Man belongs to be there. There's a couple other guys that still have the possibility of making the Hall of Fame, but for not being in wrestling and should have already been in the Hall of Fame, Macho Man to me is the first person that always comes in my mind. He's the Pete Rose. And Pete Rose is in the WWE Hall of Fame, and neither is the Macho Man.
But who should be there besides Macho Man?
There's arguments for Ultimate Warrior. He clearly was a huge impact for a time in the WWE. Maybe not the longevity of definitely not the Macho Man or the impact of the Mick Foley, but when he was there, I think he'd be a fan favorite, and people would go nuts if they inducted the Ultimate Warrior.
I think that's unarguable. I don't think anybody can argue that. He helped put wrestling into the forefront. Without him, Hogan isn't as cool. Macho Man isn't as cool at that time because he was that one of the ultimate guys that nobody could get over.
He was huge. He was huge.
Yeah.
To see more of these conversations, check out the rest of our Tout Bout Tag Team Talk on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and Tout and other places where you can watch shit like this.
I just want 100 likes and subscribers for all of these platforms so you can put me through a table.
I'm putting them through a table.
That's all we need.
We're getting there.
Just get 100.
Tell more people.
You can watch me get my stubborn ass put through a table.
Powerbomb through a table. Check it out.
Like 5 Hour Energy? Love Red Bull? Infatuated with Monster? Screw all of those. Try this shit. Woo! 40 years of energy in every bottle.
Oh!
Would my wife like one?
Baby! She'd like a shot! Woo!
How many bottles have you had today, Ric Flair?
14! 14! 14! 14! Woo!
Try Woo! 40 years of energy in every bottle.
My editorial this week revolves around a rumor on the rags about the extras for the Royal Rumble DVD being leaked, that John Cena is going to win the Royal Rumble this year, and therefore set it up so that The Rock and Cena have a rematch at WrestleMania 29 and potentially the rubber match at WrestleMania 30. WWE, once in a lifetime. I mean, do I need to break it down to you word by word what it means? It means once, and unless somebody has died since WrestleMania 28 and 29, then I guess it would be in their lifetime. I think it's bullshit. I think that you were just selling some DVDs that we're never going to see The Rock and Cena wrestle again. And it was a pretty decent match. But if you plan on taking the strap off Punk to put it on Rock just for Cena to win it, which he probably will because he made a promise in 2013 he will be a champion, I think it's lame. And I think that my editorial this week should point that out. I think more people should write in and do whatever they can. If this is another WrestleMania you're trying to sell just to get more hits and to get more people spending the $60 on WrestleMania and buy tickets just to see a rematch between Rock and Cena, the only thing I have to say is, been there, done that. I've seen it. I don't want to see it again. I don't want to Cena it again.
I don't want to Cena it again. Here's what's the host, Professor S, wearing my good old GTS shirt. Follow us on Facebook. You would have seen me. I wore this to a Christmas party. But that's neither here nor there. What's here, what's now, what's happening is some competition. Maybe just a little bit, not too much, but TNA. Total nonstop action. Impact on Thursdays, followed by your monthly pay-per-view. And we're going to start covering it. I'm going to start doing commentary through Facebook, Twitter, and Tout. And I think it's a good time to do that. I think they're very edgy. They're very full of attitude. And the wrestlers they have are unreal. And they're really wrestling. And we could talk about Angle. I could talk about how great Sting is. I can even talk about how lame Jeff Hardy is now that he's still doing the same thing 10 years later. But let's talk about Austin Aries, the greatest man that ever lived. Or how about we talk about their Knockouts division, which is packed with beautiful women who love to wrestle. Mickie James, I've idolized you. You've even retweeted me at one point and responded. I love you. Hardcore country, little lame, but still, it's your gimmick. It's what you're going to do. And who can deny Brooke Tessmacher? Now, we slide past the Knockouts, and then you still have more great wrestlers that we've never seen on WWE. Samoa Joe, the Samoa submission machine from the Isle of Samoa.
And a Ring of Honor former wrestler. Him in the matches between Samoa Joe and CM Punk were ridiculous.
It's the Mickey Ward and Arturo Gatti of professional wrestling. That's what that was. And, I mean, AJ Styles. And then you have people that are just coming up, like Kenny King. Christian York, who's like a 38-year-old nobody who won Gut Check, but is actually showing some life in the ring, especially against people like Rob Van Dam, who's another staple in TNA.
I like the Kenny King RVD rivalry. TNA.
Kenny King is awesome in the ring.
He's really phenomenal and great on the mic.
But then you look at their whole X division because of Kenny King, and subtract Christian York because I'm not a fan. He's like a weird Edge ripoff. But then you got Zema Ion, who is a great heel, who is awesome in the ring. He does like some triple backflip and like lands on your chest with his feet. And it's so simple, and it's so easy, and it's so smooth. And this is what TNA brings. Yeah, some of their storylines are a little lame. Yeah, you know, whatever about their character development. But here's the deal. They put on wrestling matches, real wrestling matches, and they have good feuds between two heels, or maybe sometimes between two faces. Right now, the whole Bobby Roode, Austin Aries thing is a really good dynamic to go along with the Aces and Eights thing. The way back in the day when WWE and WCW would have a major faction feud, and then they would have their one-on-one feud. And Jeff Hardy as a champ carrying around 2 titles, kind of lame. You saw the ratings go up, so it's understandable. But at no point, and in WWE too, should any superstar have their own belt. Maybe you change the belt itself, but your face, Jeff Hardy, is right here. And
we're looking for opinions and video comments about TNA. Take your clip, put it on Tout for 15 seconds, or put it on YouTube and respond to our videos with your own video response about TNA.
And maybe we'll feature you.
We're looking for some featured and some new hosts and some new blood to talk about the second best wrestling organization out there. In closing, for the 9 of you who watched our shows last year, you know that my buddy here, Professor S, had a huge crush on AJ Lee. And me, of course, I'm always going to have something for Eve. But now they're both gone. So, you have anything to say to AJ?
Yeah, I mean, AJ, I still dig crazy chicks. I really do. I don't dig sluts.
That's good. And people suggest that I turn my heart off for Eve. But I tell them I'm always going to have my heart on for Eve. Yeah, whatever.